Government is still assessing the cost of the damage caused by the KwaZulu-Natal floods. The UNDP in South Africa has reallocated 21 million rand of its budget to flood relief. Let's get more from the UN's Dr. Ayodele Odusola. Thank you so much, Doc, for your time, and good morning to you. How are you going to ensure that this money actually reaches its intended destination?
Yeah, thank you very much, and good morning to all our viewers. Just to kick off the process, the 17 United Nations agencies that are present in South Africa working together, mobilized resources and also reprogram our existing activities in the KwaZulu-Natal to support the flood. Well, there are a number of mechanisms put in place to ensure that resources reach the target audience. The first one is that we are working with a series of civil society organizations on the ground, and the objective is for us to ensure that we continue to work with civil society organizations, those we have penciled down, including those we are currently working with, including the South African Red Cross Society, Food Forward, the KwaZulu-Natal Network on Violence Against Women, Hand in Hand, Refugee Service, Social Services, as well as Zolive. So these are just among the civil society organizations that we work with. And also, any resources allocated, whether to civil society organization, department of government, are effectively monitored, not only at the stage of implementation, but also in terms of the impact on the ground. We always, our requirements are quite stringent in terms of the reporting system, and also in terms of monitoring and evaluation, because the objective is to ensure that the resources reach the target audience, and not just the target audience, the marginalized group in the societies and communities.
Yeah. Doc, I mean, you've reallocated this 21 million rand from your budget, and even though there's been support, overwhelming support to South Africa, you took it a notch up, saying we need to, of course, make a contribution to the government and assist them with the relief. Why was this particularly important to you at this time, beyond just sending words of, comfort and words of, well wishes as opposed to the government of KZN, but saying, let's put our money where our mouths is and help the people of KwaZulu-Natal?
Yeah, thank you very much. The ongoing initiative effort in KwaZulu-Natal with respect to the issue of flood, well, it's not only in the area of immediate humanitarian relief, where we are working with agencies on the ground to provide food, shelter, and dignity kits on the ground. Particularly, we have already distributed about 2,500 dignity kits, and we are planning to do another 3,000 shortly, working with civil society organizations on the ground. And also, we are working with on health issues, particularly children that are affected by the flood. This we are doing with National Department of Health to ensure that the issues of health, hygiene, and other issues relating to water and sanitation are effectively addressed. So these are issues which we are working on. And also we are also working with the various civil society organizations and Department of Basic Education to ensure that the children affected by the flood have their educational system continued, and also relevant materials are provided for them, as well as psychosocial support. We have also, we are also working particularly United Nations Children's Fund, as well as UNFPA Population Fund, are working on a number of initiatives with schools and children. And also the Food Agricultural Organization is also working with Department of Agricultural Development and Land Reform on geospatial analysis of the food impact in KwaZulu-Natal.
Right.
The United Nations Development Program is also working with both national and provincial disaster management center to ensure that capacity of rapid response and risk mitigation is fully addressed.
Yeah, it seems like you have a multi-layered stakeholder, partnership there in ensuring that all facets that need relief within the province are catered to. You mentioned education. We know with infrastructure, people need to rebuild those roads that we saw that have been hammered by those severe rains, Doc. But also, I'm sure, or I'm assuming that you might have also seen the worry and concern from South Africans. It seems there's a distrust in terms of government handling budgets to assist in the KZN relief, and those budgets saying that are we sure these won't go to croonies within the province or even nationally in taking that money from the budget and obviously using it irregularly. Some even further criticizing and say, why wasn't the budget from the UN, from yourselves as an organization, rather given to organizations like Gift of the Givers? Why was it given to government? Because there seems to be a distrust and lack of confidence that government will utilize these funds as they need to.
Thank you very much. I think part of the clarifications that we need to make is that most of the resources go directly to civil society organizations and even communities. It's not just a few proportion of it. It's what we are doing with various departments at the provincial and national level. And like I said, the monitoring system, the evaluation mechanism is quite strong in terms of the framework the United Nations system adopts in monitoring resources that are allocated. So it's really one of the things we want to really assure that the real-time monitoring of the resources and the impact on the ground is very important. And like I said, and you have already mentioned, we use multi-stakeholder approach, where it's not only the government, but also civil society and the communities themselves are fully involved. These are the kind of things we do on the ground in terms of making sure those resources are fully entrenched. We request for regular monitoring and regular reporting of activities, and we go there to see spot check of some of these things. And I just want to let you know, just about a week ago, United Nations Development Program launched a project on TVET College, KwaZulu-Natal Coastal TVET College, where millions of rands were spent in procuring equipment. We brought the private sector, we brought the government, the Minister of Education and Higher Education to go and see those things that was done directly. This is something that has already started benefiting over 14,000 students on the ground. This is something we've just completed, but it's not related to the issue of flood, just to show you that resources we do are not only effectively monitored, but we ensure that it gets to the target audience.
Right.
So we will use a lot of monitoring framework to ensure that there is value for money for these resources on the ground.
Well, I appreciate you speaking to me this morning. Thank you so much for your time. Acting Resident Coordinator and Head of the UN in South Africa. That is, of course, Mr. Ayodele Odusola. Thank you for your time.